I'm Steve from Burke Family 54 Comics, and we're going to talk about 3 comic book shops that I do not like going to. In fact, I kind of hate going to those. Before we do that, though, make sure you guys like, subscribe, tell your friends, consider joining the channel as well. So the first one up, this happened, I want to say it was like 6 or 7 years ago at this point. It's a comic shop that I don't normally go to, and I still obviously don't go to at all. I went in there looking for some comics, which, by the way, they had their comics in like this box that you can barely touch or see. Like, you have to there's like a glass cover on top. It's very similar to what you'd see at like a half-price comics booth with like the higher price books. I didn't like that. But that's not why I don't like it. In fact, there's another reason. I was looking at a book. I think it's a Secret Wars #8 before I bought mine. That's on my wall over there. I was looking at one, and I think it was priced at the time, like I said, it was like 6 or 7 years ago. I think it was priced at like $60, maybe $65. And I thought it looked pretty good. I thought it looked like a near mint, maybe a near mint minus. And I was like, hey, would you take some offers on some comics? And the guy said, yeah, of course we take offers. This was just a worker, by the way. I've never gotten great vibes from that guy. In fact, he doesn't work there anymore. I said, hey, would you take $50 for this comic book? And he didn't even like respond. His only response was laughter. He laughed at me because I gave him an offer that was like $10 or $15 less than what he had it for. And when he laughed, I stopped looking at the comic books and I just walked out. Like, if you're going to treat your customers like that, you're not going to get any business from me. In fact, I don't hardly ever shop there. Like I said, I really hate going to comic shops like that. So that's the first comic shop that I do not like shopping at. The second one, this has happened to me at several locations that I've gone to for a different comic shop. In fact, like I've seen it in Wichita, Topeka, Kansas City, all over. I was looking at these comics in like long boxes, and none of them had prices on it. I was like, hey, maybe they're $1 each, maybe they're $2 each, or maybe they're just price marked. I don't know. I was like, hey, how much are these comics over here? And the guy says to me, well, it just depends on the comic. I was like, what do you mean? And he goes, we just priced them at the register. And I was like, what? He goes, yeah, we look them up on eBay and we price them there. So whatever the price on eBay is, that's our price. And I was like, no, sir. No, sir. Like, you have to have prices on there to let customers know exactly how much a book is. Because if I'm looking at a book, I'm like, hey, that's a cool cover. That's a nice book. I don't want to have to look up on eBay how much it is. And I don't like standing there waiting for them to be like, okay, well, this is $2. 3 minutes later, okay, this one's $5. A minute later, this one's whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that's not cool, man. Just price your books. Put them in bins. If they're higher priced, put them on the wall or put them in another place. Like, pricing them on eBay, like, I totally get, because like books do go up in value because of, spec and movie and all of that. Totally get it. But you should still have prices on your comic books, because everyone should know how much a price costs so they know if they want to buy it. And so after that, I was like, okay, no, I'm not buying from you guys. I'm getting out of here. I'm not buying, a whole bunch of books where you have to look every single one of them up. And then the last one I want to talk about, it happened to me most recently in Kansas City. I went to drop off my sister and her husband at the airport, and I went to this comic shop, and I was looking around. I've never been to this comic shop at its current location, and I went up to the comic book wall, all their higher priced books, and I saw a book that I was trying to get for the last couple of years, but I wanted to see, the estimated grade of the book, because I want, like, it was A Vengeance of Bane. I want like a 9.6 or higher. And I was like, hey, how much, what's the grade on that book? They said, she looked at it, and on the back, she goes, oh, it's near mint. I was like, hey, can I take a look at that? And she goes, oh, you actually can't, look at it. And I still reach for it thinking, I can't take it out of the bag. Totally get that, especially if, you don't want someone to do a tape pull on it. I totally get that. So I still reach for it. She goes, no, sir. I mean, you can't actually hold it. If you want to look at the grade of the book, you have to look at it as I'm holding it right here. And I was like, nope, I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to look at that book anymore. Just put it back on the wall. And she's like, no, like, if you really wanted to, like, I'm just holding it right here. And I was like, nope, I'm good. And I had a couple other things that I still wanted to get. And that almost made me put that stuff back and not even buy from them at all. Like, they could have offered to say, hey, you know, we'll put it on the table so that way you can take a look at it as I'm standing right here. By the way, I was only customer in the entire shop. Like, I heard that they had some books stolen recently, but like I said, I'm the only person in the entire shop. It's the only book. She could have set it on a table so I could have taken a look at it if she didn't want me to hold it. But I mean, that's the first comic book shop I've ever been in where I asked to see a book and they declined for me to even hold it or touch it or look at it. Like, that is wild to me. Like, I don't know how you expect to sell any comic books if you don't want anyone, you know, looking at your comics or holding them or whatever. Like, that book is going to sit there forever if you don't let people actually take a look at the books. That tells me the owner does not want to sell comics. He only wants to sell the new comic book day books, some trades, and back issues. He does not want to sell any bigger books, which obviously you could sell one big book and they could pay for their entire months of rent at their, you know, their brick and mortar store. So those are the 3 comic book shops that I really hate going to. One place laughed at me when I offered, you know, a certain price. It was only like $10 or $15 less than what they had it listed at. The second place priced books at the register off of eBay. Wow, that is wild. And a third one, even wilder, they didn't even let me take a look at a comic book that I was interested in buying, which, by the way, was a $100 comic book. So if I'm looking to buy a comic book and spending $100, you best believe I want to take a look at that comic book and judge for myself the grade of the book. So that's today's video. Again, I'm Steve from Burke Family 54 Comics. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about today's video. What do you guys think about these comic book shops and their rules? All that and more. All right, guys, thanks for watching. And as always, go Cats.
Cowabunga. It's morphin' time.